pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll read it. Just tell me. That's the one.
No public comment.
roll call.
Mr. Taylor?
Aye.
Mr. Marasini?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker?
Aye.
Mr. Baradelli?
Here.
Mr. Schuster?
Here.
I'd like to make a motion to go in executive session. Betsy Krishner's here, the accountant that Jim's wanted to bring in. So I'd like to make a motion to go in executive session.
I would like to do this after this.
I gotta leave.
What time?
I'm gonna have to leave here like 6:40. That's why I want to do it right now.
Okay.
Why do we need executive session to talk to her?
That's what he wanted.
Oh, look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Just
what
for her.
are you discussing a proposal, she's presenting an RFP, and
We're talking personnel private. That's the way you wanted her. You wanted her to
She's
come
the
in.
accountant.
She's the accountant.
Okay.
Yeah, you said you want to do executive session.
Okay.
All
Just
right.
for her, and then we're
Yep.
going to go back because I don't
Yeah.
want these people waiting
No.
around.
No, it won't be
You know,
long.
for an hour or two.
Nope.
Okay. Need a motion to go to executive session then.
I made the motion.
Second motion.
Mr. Taylor?
Aye.
Mr. Marasini?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker?
Aye.
Mr. Baradelli?
Aye.
Mr. Schuster?
Aye.
I stand, Mr. Chairman.
No.
Just the attorney.
You okay? I make the motion that we go back to the regular meeting.
I second it.
Mr. Taylor?
Aye.
Mr. Marasini?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker?
Aye.
Mr. Baradelli?
Aye.
Mr. Schuster?
Aye.
All right, before we start, I want to make everybody aware of that. Due to certain situations, there was a former employee here that used to be employed by the Mon Valley Sewage Authority. We found out today in the morning that there are missing items from this sewage authority. That the missing items was told by this employee that she advised our general manager 4 years ago that these items were missing. At this point in time, we have turned this over to the district attorney's office. Okay? Detectives. Okay? And we don't know what is going on with these items or what's in there. But once again, she told our general manager at the time that these items were missing. Our general manager clearly said he was not told that. Is that correct, Mr. Salak?
Yes, sir, I do not.
Okay. And before I get off the issue, okay, I'm very, very disturbed that this board chooses to do things behind people's back. They do things, they meet individually. So what I'm going to say here, I'm going to say this clearly. And George, you're our chairman, okay? Every board member, if anything goes on at this board, should be advised what's going on at this board. Further going out, okay? That is your job and your responsibility as the chairman of the Mon Valley Sewage Authority to advise everybody what's going on in this board, okay?
Or let her advise you.
Yeah. Well, no, you're the chairman,
Okay.
okay? With that being said, I'm gonna make this clearly because I want to put on the record. I sat here 2 days ago, Mr. Salak, okay? And talking to Mr. Salak, I asked Mr. Salak, why did one of our former employees leave? Mr. Salak's answer was to me, because I asked questions about where files, where missing stuff is at. Is that correct, Mr. Salak? When I asked you, you said that this former employee, got mad because I was asking for certain stuff.
And I don't recall that it was for certain stuff, that you were asking for items.
That's what a board member does. Is that what a board member does? Is that our job to get elected?
I'm not saying that one way
Okay,
or the other.
but I'm just asking you yes or no. Was that stated by a former employee?
Yes.
That's all I have. I'm gonna recuse myself because my granddaughter got a basketball game.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you, guys. Nice seeing you, Teddy. See you, Mo. See you, Ernie. Take care, brother.
Okay, public participation. Who do we got?
No signs.
No signings.
No signage?
You have to sign it, I didn't see the paper or whatever you have to do.
If you want to speak.
Pardon me?
You want to speak?
Yes.
Good.
May I speak now?
Yes.
Okay. 2 years ago, the city of Menneson increased the line usage fee by 71%, or from $7 to $12. Okay, $5 increase. And at that time, that was equivalent to about 4 meals increase. And as we state always, you know, any money collected by a city is a tax, regardless if it's a fee or whatever it is, it's a tax. They are supposed to be putting that money into an escrow account. And so my question is this. It was mentioned about a year ago that the sewage authority was going to try to work with them on getting the retention tank put in via a bond or something like that. So I'm confused, one, the timeline, why they're collecting money. Is the sewage authority going to float a bond and put the retention tank in for them and charge the city of Menneson residents?
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, would you like me to cover that?
Yeah. We collect money every month, the $12, okay?
Right,
We write a check for last month to the city of Menneson
correct.
and the borough of Denora, okay?
And if I'm not
We
mistaken,
don't-
let me add that we keep 3%.
We keep 3% handling fee, just like a
Handling
credit
fee,
card.
administration costs.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Mhm.
We had a big discussion with Mr. Cervelli about that. He wanted it reduced, but
You want to reduce your administration fees.
yeah, okay. But if we reduced it for Menneson, we would have to reduce it for Denora. He gave me this thing about if we bring it down to 1.7%, we would get the same amount of money as before, but then we would have to do for Denora, so we would actually lose money. That never materialized because I told him, if you want this, collect it yourself and you can keep the whole 3%. What they do with that money, we don't know. Now, we had a meeting with the DEP.
Well,
Yeah, let's go.
what I can inform you, let me maybe cover, fill in the gaps there. We entered into an agreement with both the Borough of Denora and the City of Menneson years ago. That agreement indicated, set forth all the conditions you just spoke of. We collect, disperse on behalf. It was easier for everybody involved for us to do it as one entity placed on the building itself. And then we do retain that for our service costs associated with collection, disbursement, et cetera. And that's taken place over a number of years. I don't remember specifics contained as far as items that you are permitted to do under that agreement, but they are set forth very clearly. That I can assure you, and you as administrator would know that, you've reviewed through that obviously whenever you had performed projects, because it's designed for improvements of those services and those services alone, because it is being added to the sewage bill itself.
It would be just as like the water company has a capital investment,
Yes,
$15.
Yes.
Same thing for the city council.
exactly,
They are supposed to be putting this money away.
yes.
The question is this: is the sewage authority going to install the retention tank,
And I can answer that too.
okay, through,
Where we were at was, and again, we did not ever request an accounting from either City of Menneson nor Borough of Denora that we are entitled to under that agreement. We presumed that those communities use those funds in appropriate fashions. That was that. In fact, there were discussions, do we want that? Felt that that would be unneighborly to ask for an accounting, and presumed, again, that would be, as it was all spelled out within that agreement. So going then to the tank itself, That was an ongoing issue over a number of years, quite frankly. We've had meetings, you, again, I believe our city administrator, when we had those discussions. And the costs associated were varied up and down between a few million down to, I don't
It
have
was,
that.
it was roughly $1 million, and now we went to about 2.7 million.
It was down and it was up, and depending on what project was chosen.
Exactly.
Whether it was in-ground tank, above-ground tank, what size, capacity, et cetera, those have been factors involved. That basically got placed on the back burner for quite some time. There was no action taken. And then I don't recall specific dates and times, don't hold me to that,
September,
please.
last September.
Okay, we met
No, this September that they changed mayor.
the past year. So we met with the city to discuss the issue because it was a DEP-related matter. At that time, it was determined that the city's engineers really weren't the best ones to be handling the design of anything of that nature. The city then agreed,
This was in the past year or so.
within the past
Year
few
and a half,
years,
maybe.
Okay.
that
18 months.
that it was in the best interest of Gannett Fleming, or, I'm sorry, Wade Trim, to undertake, I don't know if it was Gannett Fleming, was that far back? Or was it Wade Trim, to undertake the design of such facility and present to the city to make determination as how they wanted to proceed. Now, part of that discussion did entail conversation with respect to how are we going to finance this? How is this going to happen? The city's cash strapped. So we were looking to do, in conjunction with whatever project was chosen by the city, if there were monies necessary or needed, we determined that we, as the authority, and the board members at that time acknowledged, yes, we'd be willing to help by borrowing monies or funds of some nature, whether that be through a bond or whatever that might be, to assist the city. But we would have had an intricate agreement for a repayment arrangement that would have come directly out of the line usage fee instead of paying it to the city. Let's pretend that we did take a bond and the debt service cost was $110,000, I'm just making numbers up. Then that was to be directly taken out of the line usage fee and withheld until that payment will be made by the authority. And we were all under that understanding. Jason conducted the analysis, correct me, and then you presented that to council. And that has yet to be anything done. We've sent 2 letters because we did have a joint meeting with the DEP, and they were interested as to why there was nothing being done to move forward with that project. And as such, Jason, on behalf of the authority, indicated, we're just waiting. We sent numerous letters to city council and the engineer
Yeah.
requesting
Well, actually
advice.
now, I know, Tom, was there a deadline, 5 years ago, that it should have been done?
That was a city issue. I mean,
That's us, if there's a deadline with the city, you're gonna have to ask the city. I do not know of a deadline.
Okay, now Lois, this is a question that came up last month's meeting, and they've got to understand what's going on here. We went from $294,000 collection per month, and they went to 500 and some odd thousand.
504.
504,000. That money has got to go into an escrow account, because if you don't go in, they can't do anything, because they're not going to put up front money and do this. So at 250,000, if you have a $2.5 million, that's going to be a 20 to 30-year bond to pay it off, and they haven't started. Last month, somebody said 92,000's in there. Somebody said 172,000. They don't know. And that's why the question came up. Where's the money?
we would have nothing to do with that. We collect and
No,
disperse.
you don't have anything to do with that, but what I'm saying is, without you or council getting back to these people, DEP is gonna start finding them, and they're gonna find us in the city, and we're gonna pay more money for nothing.
And with respect to funds, we can't speak to that. That would be a DEP decision.
Yeah.
But we can
Well, I
assure
can tell you this,
that enforcement.
DEP called me one time when we had a spill over the hill, and they did not find me. But guess what? It cost me $80,000 to fix what we did. No fine, but we paid $80,000. So let me tell you, it's coming,
We
and when they get ready, they're gonna hang you.
believe me, the CYA letters were issued from this authority on numerous occasions through the engineer's office and to the DEP. And we also requested numerous joint sessions with the DEP, city council, to discuss not only that issue, but an additional issue. And those have yet to come to fruition. We've not had a meeting that has been scheduled in the recent,
Since they
last
changed.
April, we had a meeting, would have been like April the 10th or 11th.
think
I know,
September
because I was
was
leaving
there.
that night.
Last
I
year.
know,
September
we
will
haven't
be
got any letters since I've been on.
No, I would,
I was gonna
well,
say that.
I don't,
We have not
September-
received any letters since I've been on council.
September will probably, or October will be 2 years.
Okay, so I've been there since
They may have been
August
issued
and no
to the
letters
engineer's
have come
office.
since then.
it may have been issued directly to the
Okay,
engineer's
'cause I have
office.
not gotten any letters.
This is one reason why you need a liaison at these
Right,
meetings.
cause I've never gotten
So
any
you
letters.
understand what's going on and the cost of building. And this is good because this is business.
Right.
This isn't fighting different things, this is business.
We were trying to reach out and say, we'll help the community best we can, we understand our situation.
I heard
And
that,
then-
I said, that was
And then,
great.
and then we met because the city was trying to obtain USDA funding, and they wanted to inquire as to what impact our rates would have, if any at all, are we gonna increase, et cetera, and is that tank gonna have an impact on future costs, associated. And so we met with them again, that was almost a year ago, that was the last discussion we
Right,
had.
that's what I mean.
I think Jason
We have
said
no
like
idea.
$3 to $4.
Your mayor
would
was
come out of
actually
the
at
line
that
maintenance
meeting.
fee. Okay?
The
to-
mayor
to
was
cover the
actually
debt
at that
service.
Right, that's what I mean.
Well,
Here's what I'm trying to say
forget it
too. I just tell
That's why it
Tom.
was so
If this all occurred before the me and Councilman Thean came, I know he said, I could understand him saying, well, maybe the council should have brought us up to speed, but we have no idea what's happened before there, so it'd be nice if somebody would have brought us all up to speed, had a meeting.
Your
Here's
borough
the thing.
manager?
Here's the thing,
The
when I
engineer-
came in,
Right,
basically they said, here it is.
right.
And I went to every department and found everything that I needed to do. So, yes, instead of
Right,
listening at meetings of people
Right.
screaming about somebody else and this and that, you got, this is very serious. Because here's the thing is that Menneson is on the deprived city. We're over to 51%. We get this debt, this goes on us as the debt. And then we could go back to the government on other things because we're a depressed city. So you can't walk around these things, you have to face them, get them done, and then move on.
And
Regardless of where it puts you in debt.
And the engineer, Mr. Mercy and myself, just thought out loud. The last discussion we had, everything was supposed to have been moving forward, and when Mr. Sarvelli passed, then it came to a halt. We heard nothing further from that point. So, in your statement, you may not have received some, that's probably accurate.
Well, yeah, it's probably accurate, yeah.
We have received nothing.
But I know we have
Somebody
the-
has a letter
Yeah.
someplace.
Somewhere.
Yeah,
Somebody
the engineer's
does.
office was sent
Hey.
copies and DEP as well.
Aaron was
Yes,
saying,
ma'am.
you probably went straight to the engineers.
Yes.
Yeah. probably
Engineer
that's a
was always
city
said, you're
engineer.
not- Administrator.
You're allowed to
And
use
they
that
didn't
money
pass
for
nothing on.
storm sewer maintenance, okay, stores collapsed and stuff like that.
Yeah, so-
But
Yes.
where is all the money?
That's what I wanna know. What are the actual things they could do with that money? Because
Storm sewer.
just
Whoa. That's not for us to say.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
That's-
storm
that's a
sewer
municipality.
related, storm
That's
sewer
not the
related
sewage
project.
authority, George.
No,
because
that's
right now,
it's a city, it's a city
Right, right.
responsibility.
but right
Decide.
now, instead of having
But aren't
$500,000,
they-
we got 92,000.
But aren't they limited? I mean,
More
you
than
can't
that.
use it for
That's-
parks
That's-
and recreation.
That's
That's
not
not-
the
but
sewage
that's not
authority's
us.
issue.
Okay, is there something else you guys could do to correct the situation, like keep the money instead of giving it to Menneson?
No.
By agreement, we're
Right.
mandated to turn those
Yeah,
funds over.
Okay, can you throw it over in the form of an escrow account so they don't touch it?
No.
You're
That's,
good.
that's,
Right.
that's the city's
You can
money.
do that Thursday.
We just asked a question.
Yeah,
I got
Alright.
it.
well, you could,
Move
yeah, you
on.
could do it at your meeting, you could
Yeah.
have it, like he
Yeah,
said, you
move
put it
on.
in the escrow account, but that's up to
Let's
you.
Okay.
come on this.
I feel it. But what I'm saying is I'm bringing it up because I think it's gotta start moving forward before the DEP gets involved. I remember the last time they got involved, it's not pretty.
Agreed.
You're
And,
right,
so,
you're right.
But again, we've never closed the offer, foreclosed that offer. We were been willing to move forward and just waiting for a reply and response. And unfortunately, his untimely death, I think, brought that to an end and a grind. And it's the ball was in their court, and we're still waiting.
I'm
That's
sure
quite
Lois
frank.
will,
Yeah,
she'll
I'll
have
address
something to
it
say to
again.
somebody when she goes
Yeah.
back.
Would you like
And I
this?
think too, a part, you have to remember too, a part of that, Mr. Chevalier died, and then you have to realize the state of the council after that. Okay, so nothing came,
Yeah.
it was all separated. Cervelli died, no mayor, no Mr. Coles. We had to wait to get 2 new people appointed, so how could you even do anything and dispose of the information where the state of the situation
But it was
really
probably done
was?
before that.
No,
Right,
I'm inviting you, please give me a call and we can have
Okay.
a discussion on this subject.
okay, I'll call you.
Okay.
Thank you, that's all I have for that.
Anything else? Minutes.
Yeah, I there need to be a correction to the March 6th special meeting minutes.
Page
I just reviewed them prior to the meeting. The second page, actually page
79.
number 79, old business item C, the special counsel motion is inaccurate. I wrote it down exactly what Mr. Marasini indicated, and just want to set that forth, 'cause it's not accurate. The motion read that GTN Law and Gary Felatovich, be employed as co-special counsel at the rate of $200 each to review our, meaning authority, personnel policies, comma, procedures for best practices and ethics issues, and to represent the authority's interest in pending and possible personnel-related litigation issues. And it's not just set forth entirely here accurately, so I want to make that clear for the record moving forward, as there was a question earlier
Yeah.
regarding that. And I was going to point that out regardless, I had caught that previous. So we need a motion to amend the March 16th minutes, or March 6th special meeting minutes to reflect
I need a
as I
motion.
just had read. Yes, you would.
And your
We
motion?
need a motion to
You need to
amend.
approve- you need to-
A motion to approve
You
the
need to
minutes
approve.
with the
you
correction.
need-
With corrections,
With correction, yeah. With
I'll
correction.
make a motion to approve the minutes of the
Yeah, February 11th and March 6th.
February 11th and March 6th minutes with the corrections.
Second.
So John, you second it?
You can.
I can't.
That's right, okay, I'll second.
Mr. Marasini?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker?
Nay.
Mr. Barodelli?
All right,
Mr. Schuster?
Aye.
Could I ask you why you want to approve of the minutes?
Cause I haven't seen the wording right yet. When she redoes it and I read it, I mean, he was trying to put it in as he talked, but I wanted to see it written for the approved before I would even agree to anything.
Yeah, would you like to read it from here?
Can I read it?
Sure. I
I'm
may read my
talking
chicken
about your
scratch.
writing.
Yeah, good
It's
luck
all the
with
way
that.
Which one?
All the way at the bottom of his.
You want mine bad, and I can't read it.
Good luck with that.
It's attorney language.
That's just
Doctor
chicken
language.
scratch.
It's hit and miss. I'm telling you, I can read some and I can't read
Would
others.
you like me to read it back to you slowly one more time? I can do that if you like. I mean,
Because I'm trying to see where the difference is first.
well, there's a big difference.
Sentences were left out.
Yeah, the
See,
differences
that's what
are
I'm
the
talking
scope of what was presented for the special counsel to do. The motion reads, retain GTN Law, Gary Felatovich as special counsel, should be co-special counsel, each at a rate of 200 per hour. Then it is not to assist, it's to review our personnel policies.
Hold up.
Yes,
Review, go ahead.
our personnel policies,
Next.
comma, procedures for best practices,
Best practices.
that's missing as well, and ethics issues,
Mm-hmm.
and to represent the authority's interests in pending, this is all missing, in pending and possible personnel-related litigation issues. So those words are very important to have contained there. That's what the motion was, and they're absent. And sometimes it's hard to understand with that, I understand it, and I would just look at these right before the meeting, so I just wanna make sure that I thought there was issue too, and I looked at it, and certainly I was gonna bring it up regardless.
No, I didn't get one of those.
Did you get a minute?
No.
Motion's 3-1.
Yeah, I'm satisfied.
Okay, treasurer's report?
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report and pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I mean, you wanna make it? All right, I'll second it then. Do it that way.
Vote?
Mr. Marasini?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker?
Aye.
Mr. Bardelli?
Aye.
And Mr. Schuster?
Aye. Correspondence?
First one is a letter from Guthrie, Belsick and Associates, an engagement letter for the 2018 audit and paperwork. Second is a letter received on March 8th from Attorney Konstalansky regarding the Kuntz family. Number 3 is a letter sent from the authority, myself, to the redevelopment authority on the requesting release of the LSA funds for $210,500. And in everybody's paperwork, there should be various workshop notifications from PMAA in Nemacolin, Cranberry, and so forth. If any of the board members would like to attend, please let me or Amy know, and we could go from there.
Okay, the LSA, what are we using the LSA funds for?
Safety project.
It's reimbursement for funds you've already expended on the safety improvements project.
Okay,
So you'll be receiving $210,500 to reimburse
Okay.
you for that.
that's it?
That's all I have on correspondences, sir.
Manager's report?
First one I have is just to let you know on the startup of under the safety project that we just did, the new chlorine system at the plant. We put it online probably 3 weeks ago, ballpark. We had issues with the plant water, debris in the system. We had to shut it down, and just to let you know that we went from a standard strainer to a automated self-cleaning unit. We received it on site last week. It should be getting installed this week. And we would get you an update on that whenever we see how it works. And we only ordered one of them. If it works.
Bad down
Huh?
there? Is our water that bad?
Whenever there was high flow, that was the amount. The
And we're
screen was real
using-
small.
We're using processed water rather than city water.
City water,
Correct.
correct.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't know you
No,
were
no,
using,
no, I'm not
okay.
talking
You're-
about city water. I'm
Okay,
talking
I was gonna
about
say,
our
I drink your
in-house.
stuff.
And the size of the screen openings is minuscule, so
It was
any-
300
any-
microns. Okay.
I thought you were talking city water. I said, gee, I drink your stuff every day.
You know, the city water is great.
That's why you're all
We
drinking
met
water.
today with Les Malarker to discuss, keep you informed on the ongoing issue of our plant being flooded from the Carroll Township storm sewer during extreme rains. Aaron, myself, and Mr. Malarker met, and that's just ongoing. And if Aaron wants to add anything else to that.
That was the only thing under my report, so, but, yeah, we,
That's next.
yeah,
Listen,
but if you want me to
You
just
done?
fill it in now while you, or wait, just wait.
Are you done?
No.
Okay, good.
You want me to be done? Okay. I'm attending a conference at State College for Continuing Education. I'm asking for a motion that says I could attend March 26th, 27th, and 28th, please.
Right now?
Sure.
I need a motion for him to attend the conference.
Before I go,
I'll make that motion to let him attend the conference.
I second that.
thank you.
Vote.
Mr. Marasini?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker?
Aye.
Mr. Beardelli?
Aye.
Mr. Schuster?
Aye.
And our, just board's information, the PMAA conference is September 8th through the 13th. And the WEFTEF conference, the national one, is September 22nd through the 26th. If the board, any of the board members are attending, I do need to know so we can make reservations. Sooner the better, you
Okay.
know, especially the state one.
What were the dates
national-
again?
The national one I'm not worried about. The state one that's in Poconos, I think, okay? That's the one where the hotel books up ASAP. Okay? That's all I have, sir.
Okay. Solicitors report?
Yeah, the only item, we've covered a lot, we had the special meetings the past weeks, and so we've covered a lot of material to date. The only item would be to follow up from what Mr. Salek mentioned. If you recall back when the flooding issues began here at the plant, we had performed numerous title exams, property searches, as well as corporate searches, et cetera. And all those items and documentations were forwarded to Mr. Malarker for review, as well as, you may recall, there were several communications from Carroll Township, the Carroll Township Authority, Authority of Borough of Charleroi. We sat here, reviewed those items for a few hours this morning, and he's taking them. And just so that you're aware, as I mentioned to this board, I always felt that under the MS4 doctrine, as well as Jason did, that where that is generated from is ultimately responsible, and Mr. Malarker seemed to have the same thought process I did. So, but we'll wait and see what the recommendation is, as he's been appointed your special counsel for that. We'll move forward with that. I wouldn't suspect anything for maybe a month or so at least, but I'll keep you updated as necessary as things evolve. And other than that, unless the board has any questions for me, I'm going to report.
Engineers report.
Before he starts, I just want to add one last thing. The Bank of New York spreadsheet I included in everybody's packet of our funds is included in your packet for your review. Okay?
Just to give a status update,
Go, sorry, Gay. Go ahead.
I reported last month, I believe, but your updated sludge permit has been issued. We continue with the FPDS permit application. The authority has received the bottles necessary to begin their sampling. Mr. Gaskell informed me today that that would commence next week and extend for a duration of about a week's time. Once we have the samples in our possession, we'll complete the application that is due in May, which is 6 months.
Once he has the
in
test results in his possession.
We do wet testing once a year.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Is that the one with the pitch? Minutes. Okay.
So that we'll submit that in May, which is due 6 months in advance of its expiration. So you'll have that renewed in sufficient time. The Denora pump station screening project, the Part 2 permit application for that is being finalized as well. Through our review process, we're making some modifications to the design. That's moving forward. We'll move into construction this year. The blower improvements design that we also, the authority also received LSA funds for. That design is moving forward, probably with construction to occur in 2020. The safety improvements project construction substantially complete, as Mr. Salek indicated. All the paperwork has been submitted to our office to local share account, and they should be releasing those funds in the near future to this authority to reimburse you for those expenses that you've incurred. The satellite facility on Menneson is substantially complete and in operation. We're going through a testing period. We'll continue to work through the normal startup procedures, and we'll be starting that full testing protocol as the authority previously approved. Lastly, I have a draft letter to DEP ready. As you all know, we met with DEP for phase 3 of the long-term control plan, which started out as a potential expenditure exceeding $20 million. We've negotiated with DEP. That was reduced to about $10.7 million, and then at our meeting, we further reduced that expenditure to about $6.9 million. So this authority is recognized probably close to...
You saved us $14 million.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So that's been great progress with DEP. They've been very reasonable in working with this authority due to the significant progress that you've made over the last number of years, and we should be able to wrap things up with the third phase of work very soon.
When do we gonna start?
I would probably come to you in the next meeting or so to authorize design phase 3 on that much significantly reduced scope for the...
A couple years away.
The construction is.
Yeah.
Design will
Yeah,
start.
we're way ahead of schedule.
We've, as Mr. Vylon would indicate, we've closed on acquisition of the property here at the corner. So that property's available, but yeah, we are prepared to start beginning design, and I'll come to you with authorization to do so.
I guess
Because
our
of the
test
way
sample,
trim.
more samples came back okay on this?
Yeah, it was. There weren't any substantial environmental concerns with that property. That's why I recommended to Mr. Vylon that we proceed with acquisition of that property.
They saved us $14 million. And from what I understand now, we're 5 to 10 years ahead of everybody else.
This
in
authority's
long-term
received
control.
great praise from DEP about the work that you've done ahead of other entities in
I mean,
Pittsburgh region.
if you recall as a board, just the change of site location from the old site, we'll call it now, but if we had the executive session discussions regarding the property acquisition, the site change from A to the current one that we have purchased right here at the end of the road, in and of itself was a substantial savings. So well worth looking into, and it was well worth the time put into it by my office as well as Jason to acquire that parcel. And so that it is a good, it was a good
It
thing.
is due to the good rapport that we have with the department, and Jason has with the department,
Yeah, I know.
and being in his field that he is.
I have requisitions. Prior to that requisition, I do have one change order from the satellite facility construction. As you recall, we had an odor control piece of equipment that caught on fire. That was months ago at this point, so we moved away from that technology.
Father's Day, that's where I spent it.
Father's Day. So this authority received back the cost of that, which represented $365,000. So this authority got all that money back, and then we implemented a different odor control system. The total amount of that to date is, well, this will be the total amount, is $313,000. So the new technology actually cost about $50,000 less. But I do have a change order that is part of that $313,000 that brings it up to that amount. And that is for total amount of $34,603.03. That's a change order to David W. Jones for the electrical work associated with the new technology that we implemented.
And just for the board's information, so you recall, because we changed from one to another, we had, of that particular item, we had to enter into waivers with the companies in order to proceed without coming back with an authority due to the insurance proceeds that were pending, and that was successfully done as a change order in the contract itself without issue. That was performed months ago. That's been resolved.
So I just need a motion to accept that change order.
I need a motion.
Is there a number or anything? or
Yeah,
just-
34,600.
No, I meant no number on the order.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's change order number 4. Apologize.
I make a motion
David
to
W.
approve
Jones
change order
contract.
number 4.
I'll second it.
Mr. Marasini?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker? Mr. Bardelli? Mr. Schuster?
Aye.
With that, I do have 2 requisitions. The first is resolution number 27 of 2018. It's 2017 B Construction Fund requisition number 2. It is comprised of 4 invoices in a total amount of $18,980.
I need a motion to approve resolution number 27 of 2018, requisition number 2.
I'll make that motion.
I have them yet. I'll need these.
Mr. Marasini?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker?
Aye.
Mr. Bardelli? Mr. Schuster?
Aye.
The second resolution is number 28 of 2018. It's 2018 Construction Fund Requisition number 5. There are 5 total invoices to the total amount of $83,154.83. This is all part of your ongoing long-term control plan work for contractors and so forth associated with the satellite facility.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 28 of 2018, 2018 construction fund requisition number 5.
Second it.
Mr. Marasini?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker?
Aye.
Mr. Bardelli?
Aye.
Mr. Schuster?
Aye.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Old business. You have any old business?
Yes, I have a motion under old business. I'd like to make a motion to rescind the advertisements for engineer, accountant, plant manager, and chief operator.
If I'm not mistaken, it already went out.
Only one went out. Wasn't it?
Has what gone on?
One advertisement thing.
No, I drafted them, emailed to Ms. Nolte. She has them in her possession with blanks, because I know we talked about staggering them, and I was gonna clarify that with you today. I didn't know which one you wanted to go first and the dates you wanted them in, so I left the blanks on the time and date. And so everything is, they're right, she has all 4 ads prepared, but I didn't know what the time and date, and I was waiting for further clarification. I know the issue was you present, and if we had a little, trying to get out of here, I guess it was last Wednesday, and it was
So
staggering.
nothing went out.
The advertisements, no, they've not been placed. No. She wasn't here Friday, she had a personal day off, and I was attempting to do it on Friday, and then I was here today, which is they were finished today. I emailed out.
It should have been out before anything could be rescinded.
You're gonna stagger them anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
Well, something would have been out anyhow. And we said that, I wanna know how you can go back on what we already approved.
I just did it. I made a motion to rescind it.
We need a second.
I'll second it.
Mr. Marasini?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker?
You know my answer.
Mr. Bardelli?
You need to speak for the record, so it's clear.
All right, I got something to say after this then.
Mr. Schuster?
Aye.
Old business, right? Was that letter sent out, Aaron?
Which one, ma'am?
The one that we asked you to send out to the person that took
You
their
have a copy,
records?
you have a copy in your,
It was sent out
this morning.
this morning. Well, I'll let you know that,
Let me clarify something. I don't think it went into the mail. It's on our to-be mail
ah,
pile today.
you're dragging your feet on stuff.
I emailed it
But that's
yesterday.
all right. We got this investigation going on now.
Right.
But when I want something done, or the board wants something done, why does it take weeks?
It didn't, when I explained to you, I explain again. When
Never
that
mind,
motion was presented Wednesday.
never mind. I'm gonna ask one more time. Why wasn't we notified, the board, that this file was missing for months, possibly years? Why?
You know,
Well,
whenever I knew,
when
okay,
did you know, Tom?
a couple weeks ago, Amy,
It said it was months before.
When we went to put paperwork into the file, there was nothing in it. That's the first time we discovered it.
Okay, I just don't understand why we don't know immediately when stuff happens. This is why everybody wonders why Yancey gets upset, because we get the runaround. Certain board members get the runaround. When we ask something be done, you drag your feet.
No,
I'm not happy with that. As the plant manager, Tom, and I have to say it. You're head of that department, administration. That should have been put out to every board member. We
Yeah.
should have knew about it.
You can't micromanage the guy.
Sir, I'm talking to Tom.
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm
talking to
talking
Tom.
for Tom
I have
too.
the floor.
You can't micromanage
I
him. You
have
put him
the
in charge
floor.
as a manager, let him manage.
Tom, that should have been put out to us
Okay.
earlier.
I understand.
And that letter should have been put out earlier, which never got out yet. I want to know why.
I explained that to you. I
No,
can't,
and when we were supposed to put that in the paper, that should have been out.
again, I tried to explain
How
to you.
come you know every specifics on something else, but then when I asked you to do that letter, you're going like this? I don't know what you want in there. I know you know how
Can I
to.
explain?
I know you know how to put a letter together. I don't
Was there a
appreciate
need
it. I
for the
really
letter
don't.
after
I
you and
don't
Mr. Taylor come
appreciate
down
it.
and told him
I'm
to call
trying to work
the
with
person
you all,
involved?
but you all are dragging your feet on things that the board has questions about, and that's not fair.
Do you want me to explain?
I have.
I'm upset about it.
You asked me, do you want me to
I
explain?
know something is wrong in this board.
Well, that's why we have the investigators.
I know. I can't wait till they get here. Favoritism is showed to certain people, and then other things you jump on right away. I don't care if it takes me my whole 5 years being here. This board gonna get straight. This authority gonna run straight. Amy, I need a letter from you saying when you knew it was going.
Now, see, this is what I want to address next. No single board member should come down to Amy or Tom or anybody here and make demands of them. These are board decisions. Not you, not Yancy,
Well, I'll tell you
not
what,
anybody else.
In the past, you have made decisions since I've been here.
Board decisions.
No, You made decisions when you knew something and didn't pass it on.
Knew what?
There was a lot of things that went on that all of a sudden you said you knew and this, not you and Aaron knew, even though he's not considered a board member. I don't know if you knew, but me and Yancy didn't know. That was brought up last in the special meeting. We don't know things. And as for requesting, I requested something to Tom today, but I wasn't by myself. I was with another board member. He didn't fuss about it. He just wrote it up.
Well, my second motion has to do with this.
You still have a motion pending on the
Oh,
floor.
go ahead, sorry. No, you don't.
There's questions on the motion.
Oh, you just voted upon that? I'm sorry, I didn't know if you voted or not.
I make a motion that the plant manager, secretaries, engineer, and solicitor fulfill no requests unless properly authorized by a majority vote of this board at a duly constituted meeting, with the exception of their regular administrative duties.
I'm not seconding that. Because that motion was sent in to open all offices, except
That
the
motion's
union.
done. We're on a separate motion.
Go ahead. I'll make sure when you bring your little invested party in here, they're gonna investigate everything.
Good.
Credit cards, contracts,
You call roll?
everything.
Mr. Marasini?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker?
Nay.
Mr. Bardelli?
Aye.
Mr. Schuster?
Aye. We done with old business?
Is that new business? Vote on it.
New business.
New business.
I make a motion that Amy, Aaron also write up when they knew about the missing files. And if I feel this way, if I can't get them to back this up, then I know they're hiding something.
I don't like the
I'm not
implication.
talking to you.
I don't like
I'm
the-
talking about
oh,
the board members.
That's
They
right,
the
what
one
you
make
want
the
me-
motions. I made the motion that Amy and Aaron also let me know when they found out about the missing files.
My answer is contained in the letter you have that was issued to that particular individual, Bob.
Okay, that's good.
Whatever the board directs.
Well,
is
then
fine.
that Amy would write up a statement saying when she knew. It's going to be asked anyhow when the, what's that, Deputy Tobin comes in.
Yeah.
So just write it up, have it on file,
Wait,
we
wait.
can hand it to
You
him.
made a motion, I didn't hear a second.
Motion for what?
She made a motion to have Amy and Aaron write something up. I did not hear a second to the motion.
I don't want Aaron in that now. He already wrote his. Just Amy.
No second.
No second. We'll let the investigator take care of this,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
I can't wait.
We done with old business? New business? Okay,
Yeah.
I need a motion to pay Guthrie Belsick for the fourth quarter audit from December to February. And I guess they already started on the new first quarter audit.
No, they did not.
Okay, I need a motion to let them start on
That's
that.
to enter into an agreement, which they submitted.
Okay,
I'll make that motion to enter into the agreement with them.
they got the fourth quarter done, huh? They got the fourth quarter done.
They're finishing up.
Okay.
Yeah, as was pointed out earlier, the year-end audit normally is provided in April when approved by the board following our presentation at roughly that time on an annual basis. That's the regular course.
Mr. Marasini?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker? Mr. Baradelli?
Aye.
Mr. Schuster?
Aye. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Marasini?
Aye.
Ms. Tucker?
Aye.
Mr. Baradelli?
Aye.
Mr. Schuster?
Aye.
And just talk.
Hey, Sean.